Good afternoon, Monica. Thanks for coming along to the coaching session today.
Right. Hi, Lynne. Thank you.
Yep. Great. So what we'll be looking at today is just entering information into a standard recipe template on Excel. And I'm just wondering, have you used the Excel program before or any other Microsoft apps like Word?
I've used Word.
Yep.
That's, pretty much my limit. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's fantastic. At least you'll be familiar with, the screen layout and whatnot. And just in regard to standard recipes, have you used an actual standard recipe format before or written one yourself at all?
No, just the cookbooks.
Okay. No, that's great, because essentially recipes come always in that very familiar format of how many serves it will make, how long it will take to make, the new ingredients and your amounts. So we're just actually converting that into an even more standardized format. And the purpose for that is twofold. One is for cost control and budgeting. And the other one is that in the workplace, if we are all working off exactly that same standard recipe, then we'll end up with a more consistent product at the end. Yep. Okay, so what the structure of the session will be, first I will demonstrate just those steps involved in transferring the information from the recipe into the Excel format, and then we'll go through it together. So I'll give you to go, a turn at actually doing what I've just done, and I'll guide and prompt you along the way. And then the third time, you'll actually have a turn just yourself in entering that information. So, and any questions that you have along the way, feel free to ask, and I'll see if I can help you out. Okay. So just going to that screen share now. Great. Okay, so up on my screen, I've just got an Excel template. Can you see that? Okay.
Yep.
Fantastic. So as I said, I'll just be demonstrating in this first go of actually how to move the information from the recipe, which you can see there on the right, into the Excel template. And then we've got the costing down the bottom of the ingredients. So we'll be entering those as well. As I said, any questions, feel free to jump in and ask.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got the recipe name, which is scones at the top, organization, I'm just going with the Plenty Cafe today. The number of portions that the recipe makes will add in at the end. Here's just a space to make some notes if we need to, preparation time. And then these are the important fields that we'll be filling in today. So we've got ingredients, the amount, the unit, the price per kilogram or litre, which we'll be getting from this information down here. And then Excel will automatically convert that into the price per unit information and the total cost.
Oh, it does it itself?
It does it itself. Yes. So that's the beauty of using the Excel template. Okay, so what we want to do first is start with ingredients. So we just tap our cursor under the ingredients column, and we type in the first ingredient in the recipe, which is self-raising flour, just using a standard abbreviation there. Then I can use the tab button on my keyboard just to tab across till I get to the amounts column. I look at the amount, which is 500 grams. Now, importantly, I just want a number in that column. If I put a letter, if I put G for grams in there, the program will get confused and it won't be able to calculate those last two columns that you see. So we just put the number in.
So you can't copy, you can't copy, paste, like drag it?
Not really, no. If the recipe was in a different format, I probably could. But for this training session, we've got the recipe information and the prices up there on the screen. But in real life, you would most likely have the recipe sitting on your bench beside you, or you'd perhaps be referring back and forth between an online recipe. So yeah, so it's just a matter of typing that information in. And then we want the price per kilogram, which is $1.50. And then we just hit enter on our keyboard. And so the price per unit and total cost is automatically calculated. Then we go to the next one, which is butter. And you'll notice that what I'm doing is I'm working across from left to right, sort of systematically working across each column as I go. 75 grams.
Sort of tabbing.
Tabbing, exactly. That's the fastest and easiest way. Butter's $10 a kilogram. Then we've got milk, 250 ml. Milk at $2.50 a litre. And then the last one is strawberries, which I'm going to use as a garnish in my recipe. And I've put it into the demonstration so that you can see that we can also use each as a unit, as well as the grams and milliliters. So I can type in each there. But importantly, the price is per unit, not per kilogram or litre. So in this column, I'm actually going to put 0. And then I need to add that price per unit, price for each item in the price per unit column. So I put in 25 cents per strawberry. And there we go. So my total for the recipe is $3.65. Now to find out my cost per portion, let's go back up to this field here, number of portions. My recipe makes 12 scones, but it's pretty standard expectation that each serve will be 2 scones per serve. So that will leave me with 6 portions. So I type 6 in there, enter. And so my cost per portion will be approximately 61 cents. So does that
I think I'll get lost with the proportion bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So essentially what we want to do, like part of the purpose of the standard recipe is to work out our cost so that from that basis, we can work out how to charge people on our menu. So I need to know how much 2 scones and a strawberry will cost me to make so that when I add on an allowance for wages, my location, like my rent, all of those other factors, which is about 3 times the cost per portion. That way I can work out what price I'm actually going to charge my customer. So that information is quite important. So if I go back and just delete that, so down the bottom here, we've got the total recipe cost. Then to get my cost per portion, I need to add in how many portions I'm going to get from my recipe. So I've worked out that I'm going to get 6 portions or 6 serves. So I enter that up the top there. And that leaves me with 60 cents a portion.
Okay. No, I thought it was 12, that's all. I thought it makes...
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so it makes 12 scones, but I'm going to give each person two scones.
Two, yeah.
Yes, because that's pretty much the standard expectation when you order scones that you get 2. So that's how I've worked out that 6 portions out of 12 scones. Okay, so now we'll have a turn to work through this exact same recipe together, but you'll actually be putting the information in. So what you need to do is just refer across to the recipe and the costs and just work logically across each of those columns as you go, just putting that information in. So do you feel happy to give that a go together now, Monica?
Yes.
Yep. All right. So I'll just quickly delete what I've put in. Oops. And then just quickly. And then I'll allow you access so that you can fill that information in from your computer.
Yep.
Great. Okay, so this is where we started. Now I'll allow you control. So that should come up as a little pop-up on your screen, just accepting control. Yep. Now you should be able to move your mouse and find those fields exactly.
Okay. So
the important thing that I mentioned is just to work logically across, entering the data across in each column.
Stop raising thumb. So
Yep.
tab across the amount.
Perfect.
So the amount will be.
So that's 500 grams, but remember we just put the number in the amounts column.
So we don't, yeah.
Yep, no, that's good. That's perfect.
Tab.
Yep.
Units is grams. So G for grams.
Just G for grams. That's great.
And unit.
Oh, so just so in the price per kilogram column, you can just refer to the prices on the right there. So plain flour is $1.50 a kilo. Excellent. And then when you push enter, exactly. That's well done.
It's very new to this.
No, that's great. You're doing really well. And so it's just the same for each of the other items in the list.
The butter, try that again.
Yep.
So butter is 75.
And then move it. Yep, that's great. Across to the units.
Grams.
Excellent.
So it'd be 10.
Yep.
G.
Butter's expensive these days. Excellent. And then down to milk. Fantastic. And that's just ml for milliliters.
Yeah. And 250.
Yep.
Oh, $2.50.
Great. And the last one is just that strawberries.
Okay, this is mine. So the amount is 6.
Exactly. Yep. And so this one's a bit tricky because it's an individual item. So we've got each as our unit. So just put EA as the abbreviation in there. Yep. And so in price per kilogram, we put 0 because we're not using that kilogram price.
Oh.
I think it actually comes up as, no, that might confuse it. Yep. So just 0 and enter. Oh, yep. Oh, there we go. Done. Excellent. Done. And so if you can just read out to me down there, the total recipe cost.
$3.63.
Fantastic. And then do you remember how we worked out that cost per portion?
So we go up to, because we're doing, everyone gets double.
Yep.
Yep.
And then if you just hit enter on your keyboard again, it'll automatically calculate. Fantastic.
Very good.
No, that was really well done, Monica. So now do you feel confident to have a go yourself? It'll be with a different recipe, but it's very similar to this one, just in that it's a reasonably basic recipe. So there's not, 20 ingredients to enter in or anything like that. Are you happy to have a go at that?
I think so. Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll just save this recipe now because that's the next important step. We don't want to lose all our good work. So we just save that. Perhaps you have a standard recipes folder on your computer, and we just save that into there. Great. Okay. So I'll just bring up I'll just take control back so I can bring up the next template. That won't take a moment.
Yep.
And then you share. Great. So this is a pumpkin soup recipe. I'll hand the controls back to you.
Yep.
And so this time it's exactly the same process. So we're just working logically across each of the columns. Fantastic. Entering the ingredients, amount, and price.
It's been a while since I went to school.
No, you're doing fantastically well, and that you will find that you become more efficient as you practice.
Yeah. I've got one of those. So it'll be each.
So we just go 0 in that column and then move over to the price per unit. That's fantastic.
And you have to press enter each time there, is that?
Yes, yes. So that just, I guess, gives the program the information it needs.
Sorry, back to each. Okay,
Right.
yeah, I'm gonna do a couple of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for first time, you're doing very well.
Yeah. So what happens if you do put the extra? Won't register, will it?
No, no. It'll, if you accidentally put a letter in the amount column, it will just come up with an error in the calculations column. Yep. So you'll know if it hasn't worked. You could try it on this one actually, just, you know, so you can see while I'm here what happens. Yeah. So if it does happen when you're doing it at your workplace, you won't go, oh no, you'll know what to do. So then if you put L there, or sorry, if you go back and put an L behind 750 perhaps. Which is an easy mistake to, that's it, and push enter. When you're trying to work quickly, you know, often that's an easy mistake to do.
It won't go forward.
Yep. So there we go. So that's kind of the error message. It can't really comprehend what it's meant to do because it really just needs that single figure amount in that column. Yeah. So then if we just go back to where you put the 750, yep, and just get rid of that L. Fantastic. And then enter again. Yep. So it's easily fixed. And it's good because that way you can't, you know, accidentally make a mistake without knowing.
Yeah. No.
So this one was the price per kilogram a litre.
Yeah, I'm going back.
Yep, that's okay.
So that's a 0.
Self-correcting.
So it's a milliliter, oh, it's a litre there.
Yeah, 75 cents a litre.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. So just the L goes in the unit column, just the one to the right of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I was going to put it. But yeah.
Oh, and then, sorry, the 75 just needs that. Yeah. The sort of one to watch out for, that change, whether it's an individual item or whether it's.
So you put the O.
Oh, so for this one, it's actually 75 cents per litre. So we need to put the 75 cents. That's it. Yeah, in that column. So it's only when you're doing each, like an onion or a tomato, that you would put 0 there and then in the other column.
Yeah, I'll just take that out. Yeah, I put in the wrong column.
It's okay. So then, yeah, so if you enter there, it should still work. No? That's okay. I might take back control because we probably just lost the formula from those two columns. So I'll show you if I take back control. This is good for you to see anyway, in case it happens while you're doing it yourself. And I'll show you how we can fix that. So I'll just pop that back to me. Okay, so all we need to do is just highlight that. And then once you've got that little black cross in that bottom corner, you just actually kind of move that up like that. And that will copy the formula over into where you've moved it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then we just need to do the cost per portion. So if you go back up to the recipe, it tells you how many serves.
We're going to do 6.
Oh, sorry, I need to give you control back. There we go. It's back to you now.
So we'll do 6 serves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Done.
And so can you read the cost per portion out for me, please?
$1.19.
Yep, exactly. So that gives us the information we need to cost out the end sale price of the product.
Yeah.
You've done really well today, Monica. And what I'll do as a follow-up is I'll email you the blank Excel template along with a couple of recipes, fairly simple recipes that you can start practicing on. And then when you feel confident, you can go into your workplace and actually begin to document those existing recipes that you have and save them into that folder that you'll make up on your computer. And then away you go.
Wow.
Can I ask just for a little bit of feedback from myself today, how did you find the session? Were my instructions clear and reasonably paced? Like, was I going too fast or too slow?
Good. Yeah, it's just I'm a bit delayed, I think. Yeah, I'm a bit slow there.
No, that's okay. The first time we do any new task, everyone's slow. It's just part of how it is, because if we rush it, we're obviously not learning properly anyway. So you do have to step through it. But no, I think you did extremely well for a first go. And what we'll do is we'll meet again at this time next week if you're available.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Fantastic. And then you'll be able to share with me a couple of the practice standard recipes that you've completed. And if you have any questions, or we might look at, how we arrive at those costing figures, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy your afternoon. Thank you very much for coming along today. I'll just take the controls back.
Okay.
And thank you very much. And I'll see you next week, Monica.
Thank you.